Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Through Black and White Eyes for this live transfer banter update show. We've got a little bit of new news to tell you, but we're going to go back through the whole week of rumours and try and put a few rumours to bed. There's obviously a lot of stuff being said recently, and we just want to clear everything up. What we're right on, what we're wrong on, and what to look forward to, basically. Before we get into it, obviously I've got Pete and John in the background. The usual stuff. Hit the subscribe button, guys, if you enjoyed the show. Hit the bell button so you know we're live. Membership is still an option. Please read the description if you do want to become a member, because there's different options. There's 4, and they all offer you different perks, basically. I'll put the link at the top of the chat. So if you'd like to become a member tonight, please consider it. If you'd like to donate, $ in the bottom right-hand corner. And if you're watching this back on record, we do have the super thanks down the bottom as well. If you do believe that any of our videos or any of our shows deserve a donation, we obviously massively appreciate it. And it helps us to reach our goal of doing this a lot more than actually going to work, which would be nice. We can class this as work. Yes. Right, let's bring the boys in. Good evening.
How are we doing?
Really good. Thanks, Pete. You?
Yeah, not too bad.
Good. And the guys, sign up to Pete's channel. The link is in the description below. He's up to 1,500 and he's on his way up. And that's what we want to see. You want to see him keep growing. He's got some great stuff on there. Great Friday night show as well.
It certainly was, yes.
Yes. So keep an eye out for that, guys. And please subscribe to his channel while you're there. Right. Few little comments we'll go through very quickly. New subscription, watching while love the content. Thanks, Shane. Appreciate that, mate. And then obviously, welcome, Shane. Thanks for the sub. Good evening, gang. Enjoy the show. Keep it friendly. No caps. Show some love. Click that subscribe and join. Well said, Jules. If you're liking the show and you'd like to send a super chat sticker, click the $ in the bottom right-hand corner. Evening, Baz. Hope you're well. I am, Mansell. I hope you are as well. There's the link to become a member if you want to. It's literally pinned to the top. Leipzig's Wonderkid, can't pronounce his name. You know, I all had him there yesterday with that. Evening, Baz. Evening, gang. How's everyone? Everyone's good. We're nearly caught up. Evening, Baz. Good evening, everyone. Hope there's no truth in the ESM leaving. We're going to cover that. That's obviously one of the big topics. Baz, your mate told you the wrong club for Leipzig's player. Oh, I thought it was Real Sociedad. Did I get that wrong? I must have. We probably got a lot wrong in that video, to be honest with you. We're going to cover that tonight as well. Thomas is in the house, and Thomas and Jules are having a conversation with each other. Evening, gents. Looking forward to the show. So, man, it's been a while since we've done a live one, isn't it? It's been about a week and a bit, I think. And where's Nicholas Pepe then? Hopefully still on the injury bench at Arsenal, and he's not coming, hopefully. But we're going to clear that up tonight. As you were bang on about Hugo. Yes, we were. Thank you. Thanks to John and thanks to Steve. And even Baz and the rest. And last one. Hey, guys. Hey, Nick. And I don't know which one it is, Caitlin or Nick tonight. It could be either one of them, to be fair. Right. Both. Definitely. Right. Let's clear this one up first. So, Nicholas Pepe. Obviously, we did it as breaking news. Steve messaged me very late on last night, literally while the kids were in the bath. And I said to the missus, I've got to go and do a video. This is really important. It's breaking news. I'm shocked. Couldn't believe what I was reading. But we took it down. We didn't take the video down because it did bring a big conversation about whether we wanted him, whether we don't want him. And there's obviously the lad from Leipzig as well. But we think Steve has been duped. He did get it from an agent, but he thinks the agents mucked him about. So we're going to have to put this one in the forget column, and we'll hold our hands up and say, yep, could be bullshit. But it still might actually happen because it is from an agent. So, but we actually think there's not a lot of truth in this one, unfortunately, because we do like to get things right. But let's face it, nobody wanted him. So this is the best news to come out of tonight. It was a load of crap. Yay! But this guy is obviously, we've talked about him as well. This one could be an interesting one, guys. Pete, do you know much of him? I don't know anything of him, to be honest.
No, I've not really seen him play as well.
What about you, John?
Yeah, he's a great player. Say Leipzig signed him a couple of seasons ago. I think they had him on loan first and then signed him permanently. But they paid quite a bit of money from him. So he pays as a number 10 or a higher up attacking midfielder type player.
Right.
He can play on the wing though, so I don't know whether Eddie wanted or looking at him to play on the wing, but he's brilliant and he's very young. He's definitely going to be one for the future. Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people on the comments from. That's why I kept the video up, because this kid was in the video as well. A lot of people like him, and it's been a very interesting conversation around him. Obviously, I went on SofaScore to try and find out some stats about him, and it came up with a bloody German cup that I didn't know was a German bloody cup, did I?
Pokal, yeah, that's a cup.
Yeah. See, the thing is, though, normally on SofaScore, it defaults to these recent competition that he's played in. So I just assumed that was his main competition, and I was that quick to try and get stuff. So yeah, I got completely screwed on that one as well, didn't I? It's a video to forget last night. It really is. Right, let's try and clear up some information on Botman. So this is what I've been told, and then you guys can either verify or you can have, put some extra information on it. AC Milan are in the driving seat because he wants to go there. However, Newcastle has stolen a march on it a little bit because they've offered more money to Lille, and they've also offered Botman more money as well in his contract signing on, all this sort of stuff. So what I was told was Botman agreed to go to AC Milan in January, but has now changed his mind and he wants to come to Newcastle because he wants to look after his future, and we've offered him a better deal. And I have heard if this is cleared up, we're obviously going to move on to another target afterwards. But we are actually a lot closer to AC Milan in the driving seat as what we actually thought we were. I thought it was about 60-40 AC Milan, and it's almost 50-50. John, what have you heard?
I've been told we're actually very, very close. He's been told he's the number one target. He's been told that we really, really want him, and we've paid a substantial offer. I mean, bearing in mind I think he's on 15 to 20,000 a week.
Is that it?
At Lille, and we've offered him nearly 100 grand more. So that says it all. I mean,
it does, doesn't it? And AC Milan have offered less. That's the thing as well.
Yeah, but the good thing he hasn't signed straight away for us, which for me is a great thing because it's showing it's not just all about the money, and that's what we want to see from these players. 100 grand a week more. I mean, you'd do that. You'd go to Yorkies and pack
Yorkies. we do Yorkie as well, mate.
Oh yeah, it's Nestle, isn't it? Yeah, Nestle. So yeah,
maybe Twix or something like that,
yeah.
or Mars.
But yeah, so and he hasn't jumped straight out, which shows he's got ambition. I mean, the interesting thing he said was that he wants to play at a better league. And there's no better.
Well, they're both better leagues, aren't they? But the Premier League's obviously higher standard.
No better league than the Premier League. So I mean,
I agree with that. Massively agree with that. Pete, what about yourself?
A defender, I think, would be a great addition to our side as well. Very young lads, as well. I think we do need to strengthen that position as well. I think we are going to let a few of our current centre backs go as well. I think it would be a good addition.
Yeah, I think it'd be a cracking addition. I've got a love affair with him since January, haven't I? I've always said Botman's the man that I want. He's our next Virgil van Dijk. You could mould him into a 10-year centre back at Newcastle. The only thing that worries me that AC Milan might convince him is because Paolo Maldini's there and stuff like that. So if you're a defender, who else do you want to learn from? Do you know what I mean? But Eddie Howe is a defender. He knows what he's talking about as well. So I don't know. I hope we're going to get him. I really do. We're still on the fence on it, so we haven't committed to Botman like we have with other players. We still think there's legs though. But once it's resolved, if Botman doesn't come, this is the next in line. Now I don't know about you guys. Nathan Ake at 50 million apparently. Pete, I'm not impressed with 50 million for him. I just think that's well over the top.
Well over the top for a defender who's barely played for them as well. 27 years of age. I don't think he's that highly rated as well. I mean, when we played the last season, I thought he was poor. We got right into him. Not for me. I don't think he's an upgrade on what we've got.
Oh, I think it might be a slight upgrade on themselves for ball playing wise.
Maybe
not height and
not ahead of like Fabian Schär or Dan Burn.
Yeah, I agree with that. John, do you I mean, obviously the rumours, first of all, have you heard that they're true? And do you think it's a wise decision to spend 50 million? That's a lot of money.
I heard we lodged interest, but I think Man City have priced themselves straight out of the market. We won't pay 50 million for him. 100% we won't. If they negotiate and come down, you might see it. But I agree, he's a slight upgrade, barely. He's definitely not going to take us to the top 5, 6. So
yeah, I agree.
Not for me. Not especially not for that money.
Yeah. Just let the guys know in the chat what we're going to do is we're just going to go through the players that we've been linked with and we've talked about, and then we're going to come to you guys for the rest of the show. So I promise you we'll get through as many comments as we can. But tonight's all about clearing up all the rumours and everything that's going on at the club. So have I got it right? Yes, the next one. Welcome, Ekateke. I should have really opened with this one, shouldn't I? But we did say this a long time ago. We said in January we were literally hours away from getting him, but then obviously he decided because of his age, he wanted, he got 2 hours to make a decision to jump on a plane and pack his whole life and go to Newcastle. For us, it's an easy decision. Me and John could pack up our lives again and move back to Newcastle. We would do it in a heartbeat to play for our club. But for a 19-year-old Frenchman who's never probably set foot in England unless he's been over for a under 20s and under 19s game or something like that, it was a big ask. And we were in a dubious position as well in a relegation battle. But now he's seen the project. Now he's seen what he can get. He got a new agent because his other agent was crap. He sacked them. We've agreed everything. Wages have been agreed. Fees been agreed. Agent fees have been agreed. It's literally waiting to be announced by the club. But I don't think they'll do that until this tournament that he's playing in is finished. Because there's an under-20s tournament starting. Pete, personally, I think this is one of the best signings we'll make this summer because of his age and what his talent is.
Young player, you want to give them an opportunity as well. It's another position we need to strengthen as well. I think he did well yesterday in the French side as well. Set up a goal. Look forward to see what he can do. He doesn't have to be registered as well, which is another thing because of his age. Looking forward to see what he can do. Really can. I think we do need to strengthen, as I mentioned, strengthen the position as well. We know Gale's going to be away and Chris Wood just doesn't cut it, and you can't rely on Wilson to be fit for a full season.
It's true. Very true. I got lots of comments, Peter, today saying we missed a sitter from 6 yards. Have you seen it? I didn't see the game, but that's all they're focusing on. I don't get this, like guys in the chat and guys that are watching, a player's going to miss a chance and they're going to miss a big chance. They're going to miss open goals, but that doesn't make them a bad player. It just means that they had a bit of an off moment. But did he have a good game? He did assist. I didn't see the game. Did you watch much of it or watch any of the highlights?
Which game?
The Ekateke one, the France one.
Oh, I missed that one actually, but I see the highlight of him set up the goal.
Well, there you are then. And then we've got to start focusing on the good points of players, not on all the bad points, because if we do that, you're not going to sign anyone, are you? Someone said to me, John, all we're doing is buying casts off. I said, well, one man's cast off is another man's diamond.
Yeah, I mean, Ekiteke's the French media calling the next Mbappe. They rate him really, really highly. Bearing in mind he was 17 and not getting in the first team. They put him on because of an injury, and he's finished their top goal scorer. And he's hit the ground running in the French league, and he's still a young lad. He's a great talent. Is he ready for the Premier League? Possibly not. But it took Thierry Henry a season and a half to get into form. So I mean, a couple of seasons we might be looking at an Mbappe. And people saying we've overpaid. I mean, 30 million. They're paying Mbappe that every 20 minutes, aren't they?
I think they are as well, to be fair.
So I think he'll be worth every single penny. Definitely.
I do as well. I think he's going to be a talent. And look at Jose Perez. I know he's obviously not anywhere near the same standard, but when he first came to us, he was a bit lightweight. He scored some great goals, but then he bulked up and then he started to look more physical on the ball and look better. Ekiteke will do that as well. We've just got to get him to the fish and chip shops, get John on the case. Mr. Sinclair can take him to all the butchers and get everything sorted.
The key point in this is Borussia Dortmund are after him, and they know what up-and-coming players like. They've done it time and time again. So if they saw him as a Haaland replacement, then it's all good.
Exactly.
PSG not so much, because they just buy anyone, don't they, and everyone.
Well, they do, but again, I mean, they probably would have put him in the under-19s or something in the reserve squad and tried to build them that way, which he doesn't want because he's had the taste of the first team, hasn't he? So I just think a lot of people have got to trust us on this one. Ekiteke is going to be a baller. Got to give him time, though. Don't just jump on his back like we did with John Dal Thomason, and look what he ended up doing. He went to AC Milan and won the Champions League. You've got to give these players time to settle in, bulk up, and reach their potential. And as long as we don't put too much pressure on him from the start, he'll flourish. He really will. Right. Interesting developments today on Twitter. Now, personally, I like this because the same thing happened with Ekiteke. He's not agreeing personal terms. This has gone wrong. That's gone wrong. And I'm hearing the exact same noise over this man, Dean Henderson. Now, for me and John, we've both been told this deal is done. And the reason why I'm happy that all this stuff's coming out now saying that it's not done is actually kind of makes it more that it is done. Because it's exactly what happens with Ekiteke. It's exactly what happened with Bruno. People kept on coming out and saying, oh, this is going wrong, that's going wrong. Yeah. And he signed it on the dotted line anyway. So I honestly think Henderson's our player.
It could be. It could be. I mean, it's still been a lot of rumours going around that it has been done. I think it's
put your neck on the line, Pete. Put your neck on the line.
I think he'll provide a bit of competition for Dubravka as well.
Well, Dubravka's had a few injuries, hasn't he? And we need that strength.
That's the problem. He's missed the last two beginning of the season with injuries.
Yeah. And then Darlow's not exactly the man that we want, trust in. Now, you had it. Don't get me wrong. He had that spell, didn't he, when Dubravka was out where you thought, oh, wow, we really do have a keeper on our hands. But as soon as Dubravka was breathing down his neck again, all those mistakes started to slip into his game again.
Yep.
So I think Henderson's going to be a great goalkeeper for us. John, you agree with me, don't you, that it's done?
Yeah, I was told weeks ago it was done, and I've got no reason not to believe it isn't done. I think, again, he's going to be great competition for Dubravka. Darlow, unfortunately, I think is a championship level keeper. Hopefully he'll get a move to the championship or lower Premier League team. But he did well for us. He did well for us in the season we got promoted. He's done well stepping in for Dubravka because he's been injured quite a few times. Yeah. So good servant, but Henderson's a much of an improvement.
Massively. I mean, if you want to know how good Henderson is, just go over to our TikTok account and watch the video I uploaded him of all his best saves at Sheffield United in 2018-19, wasn't it? When they were in the Premier League? Or was it 19-20? I can't remember now.
It was the season that came up.
Yeah,
and then
it was the season that came up.
They got relegated last season and they've not been in it this season. So it was
exactly
2018-19.
Yeah, 18-19, I was right the first time. And if you go over and watch that video, some of the saves he pulled off. And the one thing that I liked about him when I was watching the saves, Pete, is that every time he made one, if he was having to palm it out, he was palming it as far as he could out of the way. He wasn't letting them come back into the goal mouth. Every single save that was down to his side, it was pushed away as far as it possibly could. And that's what you want from a goalkeeper, is to get the ball out of danger.
100%. And that's, I mean, he's got Dubravka's better at shot saving, I think, and a bit as a keeper, but the distribution and everything else from Henderson's better. So it'll be interesting to see them fight it out for number one.
Massively. I really want him. I really do, and we think we've got him. So that one puts that one to bed. So anyone who's worried about Henderson not agreeing terms, not all this sort of stuff, that's good to see, because every time we see that, we end up signing the player. Because it's happened with Bruno, it's happened with Ekiteke. So it's having Henderson's done. So let's put that rumour to bed. And I hope you're all happy with Henderson, because I am. Right, the next one. This guy splits massive opinions because he hasn't played in a while, but he had that spell at West Ham where he flourished, same as like Willock did, and we signed Willock, and he didn't really repeat these performances again. Lingard wants too much money at the moment, though, but his demands are starting to come down at the moment, Pete. Apparently, he wanted 175,000 a week. It's now down to 150. We only want to pay about 120 to 125. You know, Lingard's pricing himself out of a great move, isn't he?
He certainly is. I think he's a great attacker as well. Certainly done well at West Ham when he was on loan. I've got the feeling he's going to end up at West Ham permanently this time.
You think?
I think he could well be this time. I think we're not going to look at paying ridiculous over-the-top wages for new players coming in. That's why I think he'll go to West Ham just for a bit more money.
Are West Ham going to pay it, though, Pete? That's the other thing.
Surprise me.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, we're going to talk about another guy who's obviously getting offered a lot more money elsewhere. But would you take Lingard if he did lower his demands to that 125?
Oh, yeah, I would.
Yeah, you're
I
on
would,
there.
definitely.
I mean, John, what have you heard? Are you in the same boat as me with that one?
Yeah, I mean, I heard that Lingard was done, like it'd been finished with, and we'd moved on because of his demands. I mean, he was asking for 175k at one point, and that wasn't going to happen. We moved on and looked at other targets. Paqueta, one of them. I think Dybala was only after 20 or 25 grand more a week than what Lingard was asking, and I mean, I'd rather pay Dybala and have him on a free than Lingard for starters. But yeah, apparently he's come in, and his agents come. His agent's been to our games. He's been to quite a few of our games. As Lingard's agent, and he's come back in offering us lower terms. He's been to West Ham and offered lower terms as well because West Ham bulked at the figure. So.
Yeah. I think what Lingard's got to realise is that he hasn't played for a little while. Yes, he did have that spurt of form, but he's not going to repeat that. And he's just going to price himself out with a decent move if he keeps the way he's going.
It's his last move, though, isn't it? That's in his mind. It's his last move. It's his last payday, and he wants to get as much as he can. He's wasted his career at Man United. Let's be right about it.
Yeah.
So, does he want to play football? Does he want to try and get an England squad, or does he want a last payday? And that's what he's got to look at. But I agree with Pete. I think he'll be at West Ham.
Interesting. Would you take him though if he's lowered his demands?
Yeah, I would. I wouldn't be excited about him. Not as excited as I would have been in January getting him, because I think January he could have pulled us out, and where we were in January, he was the type of player we needed. But
could have been a hero, couldn't he?
Yeah, but we got Bruno instead, and look what he's done. So happy days.
Definitely. Right, the next man, Tarkowski. This is one we have got wrong. We did say this was done. We thought it was done. We offered him 90 grand a week, but then Everton decided to come in and go, have 130. But he still hasn't made his decision yet, though. But we are going to have to put our hands up and say, sorry, we thought it was done. We're still not technically wrong yet because he hasn't signed for another club yet, but we're going to put our hands up because we ain't going to be going anywhere near 130 grand for him, are we, Pete?
No chance. I don't think we would. No, I mean, how old is he now? 29, 30, is he?
Yeah, he's on the same.
Next year,
yeah.
No, I don't think I would take him now.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, it is a lot of money. It is, but in terms of would I have him, I don't think I would now.
See, I think he would have been a like-for-like replacement for Lascelles. Obviously, big rumours that he's going to go to Forest, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I think that would be a good move for Jamal Lascelles to go back to Nottingham Forest.
I do. And Darlow, if they wanted to go back with him. But I've heard Darlow could be going to Borough. It's interesting. But Tarkowski, if we did get him for 90,000, and if there wasn't all this happening where Everton had decided to try and steal in, Villa, I think, were even offered 110 or 120. You know, they've gone way over the top on us, Pete, which is crazy.
Absolutely. It really, really is, isn't it?
I wouldn't expect that kind of money for Tarkowski. John, what are your feelings on him?
Well, we were really close to signing him. That's the point. We had him 90 grand. I think we even had a medical booked in for him. That's how close we were to sign him. But it wasn't Everton. It was Villa that came in first. I think Villa offered 120,000, and that's turned his head. West Ham, I think West Ham offered him 105, and then Everton have come and blown everyone out. And I don't know how. I don't know how they're getting around this financial fair play.
But I'm guessing because it's only wages, isn't it, rather than an actual fee? So they must have a wage structure that allows them to offer that amount. It's the only thing I can think of.
It still adds up on financial fair play. So unless they're preparing to get someone to go and trying to sign him like Barcelona have done, they've got 3 players lined up to sign on free transfers and can't really pull the trigger yet.
Yeah, because they can't afford the wages on FFP. It's crazy, isn't it?
They got to juggle the wages around. So unless Everton are doing that and trying to win the player first and then deal with it afterwards, I don't know. I just don't know how they can do that. But I don't think he'll go to Villa now because they've signed Diego Carlos. So it might be Everton. Or it might be West Ham. But it would have been a clever deal. If we got him for 90 grand, it would have been a clever deal.
I think so.
Lascelles for 10 million, 8 million, whatever we get for him, and bring someone on the free with Premier League experience as a backup.
Yeah, I agree.
But it hasn't happened.
Very quick there, Mark Hobson, thank you very much for becoming a member there. Sorry, I'm not in the chat and I've just caught it in time before it disappeared. So thank you very much for joining the family. We will get round to the comments, I promise. We just want to get through the players first and then we can go and talk about all your comments and about what you guys fancy and all that sort of stuff. We're nearly through the list of players, I promise, and then we're literally going to dedicate the next half an hour to you guys. That's the idea. So this is what I heard today, and I don't know what you guys have heard, but Paqueta will be leaving Lyon, and we are massively in the driving seat for him once the Botman deal's tied up. And as soon as Botman's tied up, Paqueta is the next one on the list because he's got a buyout clause, and that is perfect. It's music to Newcastle's ears because there's no haggling. There's none of this, we'll just add another 5 on, add another bonus on, do this, do that. It is literally, there's your release clause fee. Let's get the player in.
50 odd million in his release clause, is it? Something like that?
I think it's 48 million, 60 million euros or something like that.
60 million euros is his buyout clause, yes. Yeah, so
I would pay that. I think he's a quality player, good attacker midfielder. I think he would surprise me if he wanted the move here, considering his teammate is Bruno's here as well.
Exactly.
I think a player could really, really help booster that midfield as well.
Huge. And it's that attacking player that we're missing. I mean, if we don't get Paqueta, I would really prefer us to go for Christian Eriksen on a free, to be honest with you. But I understand the relationship between him and Bruno is something you cannot buy. I remember when I used to play football when I was little and with my best mate, we were best mates since we were 4. And we used to have that sort of, understanding of each other's games so well. We could fight each other no matter where we were. And that is what Bruno and Paqueta is like. You see them on a pitch with Brazil when they're playing with each other. It's mental. And yes, it's a lot of money, but he's only 24.
Very young. Still very young.
There's a good 10 years in there, isn't
skillful.
There? Yeah. Can finish as well. I've seen some of his goals. He scores for Brazil as well. And that's not an easy midfield to get into. And even Bruno struggles to get into the Brazil midfield at the moment. So that tells you a lot about how good Paqueta actually is. John, have you heard that rumour that as soon as the Botman deal's either tied up or finished with, if it's not with us, it's with Milan, we're going straight for Paqueta next?
Yeah, the reason why we're not going for Paqueta before Botman is because of the buyout clause that Paqueta's got in his contract, which means AC Milan will get 25% of the deal. Yeah. And that will help AC Milan get Botman.
Yeah.
so it's a weird one. We've got to be patient and wait to go for Paqueta, but I'm pretty sure that it's all everybody wants him. Newcastle want him. Fans want him. He wants to come. Like Pete said, he's an unbelievable player. And the good thing about it is that link up with Guimaraes that they've had for the last 18 months. It's just perfect. So for Brazil and for Lyon, so getting that in Newcastle in the Premiership, it's going to be I can't wait to see it. Just can't wait.
Yeah, and we actually honestly think it's that close, don't we? It's just waiting for Botman to make his decision, and then Paqueta's the next one on the list, and that's the hit list. It's crazy. The other thing that helps the Paqueta deal, I know he doesn't play as a number 10, but Lacazette going to Lyon on a free helps bolster their attack. It does actually help the Paqueta deal for Newcastle, and Lyon don't want to sell him until they've actually got somebody in, not directly in place of his position, but another attacker in through the door. That's what we were told, so that's what we've put out there. Right, the big main one then, the big talking point that everyone's been talking about on Twitter and I've been asked loads about. Let's clear up the rumours. ASM does not have a Champions League release clause in his contract. Mike Ashley might be a dick, but he's not stupid. He knows Newcastle United were getting nowhere near a Champions League spot. So why would he even think about putting a clause in his contract that says, oh, yeah, you can go for this amount of money if we don't get Champions League football? It was never an option. Newcastle's options have always been stay in the Premier League under Mike Ashley. So that was never going to be an option in ASM's contract. He has a relegation release clause. Yeah. That would have been a complete different story, but he does not have a Champions League release clause. Now, saying that, I have been told by one of my sources that Spurs are still interested and they are considering, the board are, I don't know if Conte is, to be honest with you, but you know what Spurs are like. They always seem to go over the top of the manager and buy who they want to buy and then tell the coach to get on with it. But I have heard they're considering making a £60 million opening bid. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to accept it. That's an opening bid. I have heard if we are offered around 75 million, we would sell. Pete, what do you make of all
that? It's interesting, isn't it? But I think Eddie Howe will want him in his plans for next season.
Yeah.
I really, really think he do. I think Eddie Howe will want to work on him with a little bit more because he has been a little bit frustrated at times. And look what Eddie's done with the likes of Joe Linton, Kraft, and other players he's worked out with. Share as well, who you never know, he might want to do a little bit of work with ASM and try to work on his laid out to pass a bit more, work more on his final product as well. I think we'll see ASM next season.
Yep.
I don't know how he would fit. Is he would ASM get ahead of the likes of Son if he went to Spurs? I don't think he would.
Yeah, it's a strange one, isn't it? Because Conte likes to play wing backs as well, which
he
ASM is not, and he will not come back and defend. So
there you are.
That could be a nightmare, couldn't it?
I could do.
But unless he plays up top, but then you got Son, Kane, he's not getting in there, is he?
It's not really, is it?
No, you want to thought so. You want to thought so. But yeah, I mean, he doesn't have a release clause. That is say that's clear. He signed a 6-year contract under Ashley. He had a relegation release clause, which was 35 million. So unless someone in the media's got mixed up with that and saying it's a Champions League clause, I don't know. But we're not going to go down, and we're not going to look like we're going to go down next season either. So he's not going anywhere unless someone pays 75 million. That's the price. Everyone has a price. Every player has a price.
Yeah, of course they do.
And they've set 75 million. And the idea is if they get 75 million for Saint-Maximin, they can spend 50 million and get someone else. Yeah. Eddie rates ASM.
I think everyone does, don't they? It's just that final product we want them to work on.
Unless your name's Gabby Agbonlahor and thinks he's going
to but Howe rates him. Howe wants to keep him. So unless someone pays 75 million, he's not going nowhere. And I don't think anyone will. We've said this before. I don't think anyone will pay 75 million. Not when you can get Rafinha for 50 or 55 million, was it reported?
Yeah, that's true. He's got a better end product.
They're similar players to me. And they're, I mean, yeah. So,
well, there's the thing. We could sell ASM and maybe get Bowen or Rafinha. I mean, Jesus, I would take Bowen any day. I've always said this. I'd take Bowen over ASM because of his end product.
If we sold,
and he's at the same age.
If we sold ASM for 75 million, then West Ham will ask for 100 million for Bowen, though. That's the problem.
I'd pay it. He's got, what was it, something like 40% more goals than ASM and about 50% more assists than ASM last season. I think Bowen's that good. I really do.
So's Diaby, and Diaby's 50, 60 million. So,
oh, there you are then. It's an interesting one, isn't it? Right, 2 more names, and then we're going to jump into the chat. I haven't got pictures of them because I think I deleted them by mistake the last time I was on here. But Adam Traore, obviously of Wolves, he went on to Barcelona on loan. There's a reason why Barcelona didn't sign him, because his end product is pretty terrible. Pete, just a rumor at the moment, but not for me.
No, not now. I mean, it's been a letdown, his final product as well. I don't know if Wolves will keep a hold of him.
There's a chance they could be losing Neves to Man United. I think I've heard that rumour. So they would need Traore, wouldn't they? They need someone.
They probably would as well, but it's a strange one with him, isn't it?
I wouldn't want him, to be honest with you.
No.
It's just a bodybuilder, John.
yeah, it's not my type of player. He's got pace, but that's about it.
It's been annoying.
For the price that Wolves are going to want, for the wages he's going to want, I mean, it's a no-go. I think it's all just agents trying to put him out there because he ain't got a club, basically. Well, he's a Wolves player, but he's openly admitted he wants to leave Wolves. No Wolves fans going to accept him after he skipped out on them? I don't think so.
Yeah,
I think he's in limbo a bit and he needs a club. But it won't be Newcastle.
No, definitely not. And the last one, I got a text message saying that Newcastle are now 1-4 favourites to sign Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Now, I don't know if this is just because Everton need to sell and Newcastle need to buy a striker that's proven in the Premier League. And that's why he's 1-4, because we can't afford him. I don't know if any other club's going to take a risk on Dominic Calvert-Lewin after his injury record. Pete, I'm not massively sold on him. What about you?
Not now. He's been quite injury prone, and he's not scored the goals he did season gone for Everton because of injury. I think there's got to be better out there now. We could look to aim for as well. I think we'll look to someone else than Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah, I agree. But I missed that one. Roy, thank you very much for becoming a member, pal. I really appreciate it. Sorry, I'm not in the chat, so I keep missing these things, but we will come to the chat very soon, and it's absolutely rammed in there, so it's going to be fun trying to get through all that. John, final say on Dominic Calvert-Lewin?
Yeah, the club are interested. Everton have to sell, and I think that's the reason why we are interested, because we can potentially get him for 40 million. I think it's been banded about. Would I take him? No. I think you can get better out there for 40 million. Probably get better out there for 35 million, to be fair. But we know what Eddie's like. Eddie can turn Joe Linton and what he's turned Joe Linton into. Imagine what he can do with Dominic. But I don't know. For me, no. Personally, I'd rather go for other players.
Yeah, I agree. One more player we've not talked about, and again, this could be a hands-up moment, but we don't know yet because we've not been proven wrong yet. But Matt Targett, he's obviously in limbo at the moment. He still hasn't made a decision on his future. We thought it was done, but then Lodi came out of the woodwork. But that's gone very quiet now, making us think that Targett deal is actually still on because of that.
Yeah, it's a very interesting situation with Targett, because we've made the offer, we've triggered the clause, we've offered him a contract, and that was it. We thought it was done. All his comments saying, yeah, he wants to join this, that, and the other. And, obviously, his missus put up an Instagram post and got told to take it down. Yeah. And then all the interest in Lodi and what I was told, I mean, it's been a couple of weeks and I haven't heard anything since, was that he wanted a guaranteed assurance that he'd play in the first team.
Right.
And that's what he wanted. He left Villa to come to Newcastle because he weren't getting first team football because they signed Digne. That's the only reason why he left Villa. He's not going to come to Newcastle and sit on the bench, which is understandable for him. He wants to get in the England team. He's turned Scotland down. He's turned down Scotland twice. He wants to play for England. He's not going to get in the England team if he's sat on our bench. So
no.
That deal depends on whether we do go for Lodi or not. If we don't go for Lodi, he will be our player. If we go for Lodi, he won't sit on our bench. But the contract's with him, and it's up to him to sign it or come to us. So it's down to Targett.
Yep, interesting. Pete, what do you make of it all?
It's very interesting. I think we should look to get Target permanently. He was very, very impressive for us. Season gone. I think he's a left back we've needed with pace, who could defend, get crosses into the box as well. If we don't get him, I wouldn't mind taking a chance on Lodi as well. I think it's another really good left back as well. So plenty. It's a hard one, isn't it? But two very good players. Very good players.
I mean, someone put up some stats between Target and Lodi, and they were actually very similar. Lodi had a tiny bit more in the final third, but Target obviously had better stats on tackling and things like that. So it'd be great if we could put them together and make them one player, but it's just one of those things, isn't it? I would like Target just because he was part of the team, part of that atmosphere, part of the feel-good factor, so let's just wait and see, I guess, on that one. But we might have to put our hands up if he doesn't come. We did say we thought it was done, so we put our hands up. But we might take them back down again because he might sign. But the things that we have got right so far, it's actually nice to blow your own trumpet every now and again. We don't do very often. But Shaw, Dummett, and Longstaff, we nailed those contracts well early. Dan Ashworth signing, we said that was done very early. Ekateke, we said that was done and we got that right. I know it's not been announced yet, but trust me, it's done. Things we've got wrong, the sponsorship, but that was obviously a legal technicality that we were not expecting. And I don't think the club actually realised that was, I don't know how they didn't, because I've seen the contract for the sponsor, so I don't know how they've ended up getting themselves in a pickle with that one. Pepe looks like we got that one wrong. Go on, John, sorry, on the sponsor.
I think the contract was fake. That wasn't the proper deal. It is a rolling contract. It is till the end of this month.
Right.
Castor did launch the kit for the 1st of June, but had to pull it. Which tells you that it was planned to be announced the 1st, 2nd of June. The issue is the legal getting out of the Fun 88 contract that we've got to wait till the end of this month. I believe it's 30th of June.
So we're being done on a technicality on that one, which is a shame because Dan Ashworth was announced early, but it only went officially through on the 2nd of June, which is what we said would happen. And the sponsor should have been agreed on the 2nd of June as well, which is a bit of a shame. But hands up, we got it wrong. Pepe, it looks like we've got that one wrong, unfortunately, due to, again, from the contact saying that the contact that he had might have been messing with him. So we apologise for that one. I think there's one more we got wrong. I can't remember what it is, John.
No, I can't.
I think we got one more wrong, but I can't remember what it is. But again, like I said, we always put our hands up. We're not going to get everything right, but we're going to get enough right. And Tarkowski, yeah, there we go. Hands up for him. But again, we're not really proven wrong on that one yet because he's not signed a deal with anyone, so he still might come. We just don't know. But we'll put our hands up with that one now and say it's not looking good. Right. We're halfway through the show. We've got all the comments to go. My God, there's so many comments. But since we're halfway through, just that normal thing. If you are enjoying the show and you are new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button. That would be amazing. There's almost 500 of you watching, which is incredible. Hit that thumbs up button, guys, for us, because it really helps to share the show with like-minded people. We do have a membership option if anyone's interested. There's 4 options. 99p is the cheapest one. Please read the description for all the perks because each level has different perks. The link is in the top of the chat for you to click on, and then you can become a member anytime you want tonight or in the future. If you want to donate, in the chat box, there's a $sign. Hit that. You can donate anything. If everyone donates £1, that would just be absolutely incredible. And, we appreciate anything that's donated, and we do give a percentage to charity. We are still waiting to agree on new charity, but we will have it sooner rather than later. And Pete's amazing channel as well. Like I say, he's on 1,500 now. He's on his way up. In the description, you'll find the link for it. Please go over and drop him a subscription as well. Great show on a Friday night, especially.
Thank you very much.
Have a few beers while watching it, and it's even more funny, especially when Chippers is on. Can take the mick out of them as much as you want. Right, let's see if we can get through some of these comments because I'm telling you, there's loads. Aston Villa fans getting too cocky. Again, they got our rejects, didn't they, Pete?
Oh, they certainly did. But I'm not that fussed that they've got them now. I'm not overreacted like some other fans have had with the whole Diego Carlos deal and the Kamara deal. We're going to be looking for players anyway. We might even look for players who are better than them.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. Blade, I'm trying to learn pronunciations, but the problem is when I read them, it still doesn't work when you're dyslexic, I'm afraid. I'm trying, though. There's no info on this guy, is there, John?
No, there's been some rumours that's come out saying that they want 85 million for him and our boards are prepared to pay for it, but I haven't heard that.
They could ask for a big fee for him on there.
Yeah. I think Man United in the driving seat. Oh, was that for Nunes there in the driving seat for?
Nunes,
yeah, 100 million euros is Osimhen. That's a lot of money.
It is. Other?
He's a quality defender, him. But I haven't seen anything on him. But he's quality.
I've not seen anything on that either, but there we go. Not bad. Pepe is wrong. Not good enough. It is very good that Pepe was wrong.
Not be good. He sat on the bench for Arsenal a lot.
Exactly.
And when he played against us, his cross was terrible.
It was absolutely terrible. Thank you, Jonathan, for mentioning that. We are very close to 5K. We're getting there. It's incredible. Like I say, I thank everyone who's a subscriber, who's a member. We can never thank you enough. It really helps us to keep putting out this content. Pepe under Ashley, we would have been lucky to get Pepe chicken and grill. It's nice to be linked with these players, though, isn't it, Pete? Because at the end of the day...
Oh, it certainly is.
Yeah. I mean, we've never had that in the last 14 years, did we?
No, absolutely not. It was just bargain basements, freeze, loan deals, and then we sell them on for big money. And you know where the money goes after that.
Yeah. Pressure's on for you. No Pepe news or rumours started yet, apart from your channel. Yeah, like we said, Bob, we've already apologised for it. It looks like it could be some dodgy information that was passed on to my source. And
not a player I would have anyway.
Exactly. We're glad it's wrong, basically. So evening. Botman, yes, we're all fingers crossed for Botman, Mark. That's great news about Pepe not coming. Quite a Botman, the most names linked are a non-starter. And most really,
well, I think
very optimistic.
He is. He's always optimistic when he talks to me.
Will be straight in there.
Exactly. I think it means as a non-starter, as in we're not going to get them. But again, for some reason, every single time I put a name out, he just says not happening, not coming. So he's a bit of a defeatist when it comes to things like that. I think he's stuck in the Ashley era. I don't know. We're probably going to sign Andy Carroll on a year's deal if it was up to him. There's no Greggs or Brunel in Milan. That's true. Bremer rather than Botman. There's a lot of that, isn't there? There's a lot of, they'd rather have him over Botman.
He's a better defender. Let's be right about it. He's more experienced. He's been playing in Serie A for a longer time, but he's going to go to Inter Milan, AC Milan, or Juventus, or someone of that ilk. He's not going to come to Newcastle, unfortunately.
Yes, Daz, I'm sitting in the kitchen. The missus came through and made some orange juice before, and that's what all the noise was. My microphone's a nightmare. Pete, you've got it, but it picks up everything.
It does, doesn't it? It really does.
Crazy. I sit in the kitchen with the door shut and everything, and it picks up everything that's going on in that room. It's mental.
It's just me in my place now, so luckily I don't have that extra noise, which is good.
Trust me, it'll happen one day, mate.
No, it will, probably will.
Apparently, offered 5 million per year. I've offered him 3 million per year. Yeah, that's the Botman deal. It's roughly round about that, isn't it, John?
Yes, it's 5 million a year in wages that we've offered against 3 million a year in wages. So yeah, it's a big jump. But like I say, he's only on 15 grand a week or 16 grand a week, so it's a massive pay increase from either AC Milan or ourselves. To be fair,
it is. Mr. Blade, thank you very much for the £5 super chat. Great show, lads. Great crack in the chat as well. Well, hopefully I'm going to see some of it now. But thank you very much for that. Like I say, if anybody else wants to donate, $sign in the bottom right-hand corner. Everything's welcome, and it goes back into the channel for prizes, to help pay my electricity bill, and also to go to a charity as well. Really hope we don't get Botman. I see, there's a few. There's not many people like Foxy, but there are a couple. And the pink guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
You need a better light.
I was having issues with the green screen, so I had to get new lighting, and I think it's terrible because it's making me pink or purple. I think I've had comments.
Yeah,
so.
You are looking like an Oompa Loompa, to be fair.
They're orange, Baz, so that's rich coming from you. Orange with green hair.
I've got my proper light on today. There's a shout there from Colin. Arsenal will probably cost more than Nunes.
He could do. He's a very young lad, isn't he?
Yeah. So I've heard that AC Milan would consider Bremer if Botman turns them down. So that's a bit of a strange one, isn't it? Because you would have thought if Bremer's the better defender, why aren't AC Milan going for him first?
Yeah, I think he is one of AC Milan's top targets because he's Serie A proven, isn't he? But
who does he play for?
He plays for begins with A.
Atlanta. No, sorry. Bremner doesn't. Bremner plays for Torino. Yeah. Botman's still not as tall as Byrne, though. It's not all about size. Wow. Thank you very much, Roy. 100 NOK. I think that's a tenner, I think, in their money. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Norwegian
Corona or something.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for that, mate. I really appreciate it. Could we sign Zapata as a fourth striker? I would love Zapata. I wanted him in January, but I think it might be maybe a bit too... I think it was more of a January signing than a summer signing, Pete.
Yeah, I think it was with him, yeah.
I'm not confident. I mean, he's great, don't get me wrong, but his age puts me off now.
We got Wood instead, unfortunately.
Yeah.
and that deal's done now, yeah. Unfortunately.
That was the mistake, wasn't it? 50 million talking about Ake nearly thrown up about it. Do we know any news on Lodi, Diaby and Paqueta? So we covered Paqueta, we covered Lodi, but we didn't really cover Diaby. I forgot about him.
Oh, a player I would love as well. I mean, I've watched him. He looks unreal.
Yeah.
In terms of his ability, can score goals, set up chances as well. Oh.
Yeah, I agree. I think we really want him. It was either him or Dybala, John, wasn't it? We were like raving about, but Diaby, is there any news on him?
Yeah,
it's gone quiet, hasn't it?
It has gone quiet, but I mean, we've already discussed this in the background. I think the club are trying to announce a certain amount of signings on the 10th of June. And then the marquee signing will come after, and I think Diaby's set as the marquee signing.
Yeah, Ake can stay at City, no thanks. I agree with that. 30 million max is Derek for him.
I think I paid 20 million, and that's about it. But
yeah. He did. I mean, that's the other thing is that obviously Ake played for Howe. Maybe that's why they're linking him to us because of that.
Could well be.
And they did that with that winger at Villarreal, didn't they?
Yeah, I think
Danjuma, yeah.
So they linked him with us because Eddie Howe's had him before. Gardner to Aki. It skipped. Damn it. I'll have to carry on where I am then. I heard wages are an issue for Lascelles going to Forest. That's a shame because you would think Lascelles would want to play first team football, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he would. He's not getting it now. He's lost his place, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
He's always said he wants to go back to Forest one day as well, hasn't he? So I can see it. I can see it happening.
Same, yeah, I could see it still happening.
Bruno's 24-year-old was international, so that's much easier to handle than someone who's still a kid. Kind of get that. I reckon pre-season we'll see Hugo and Anderson do together. Two youngins, bags of potential. What more could we want? I agree with that. Anderson we've not really talked about. He obviously had a great spell. It was in a very lower league though. John, he's going to get the summer, isn't he, to impress, but there's a very good chance he'll be loaned out to a championship club.
Yeah, he's going to go on the pre-season tour, which again still hasn't been announced yet, so we don't know whether that's the sponsorship thing that's holding it back or what. But that's not been announced yet. We've got a few friendlies lined up, home and away. He's been told he's going to get a chance in them friendlies, but there's talks that he's going on loan to a championship team. That's ideally where they want to send him. So we'll see. He does need to make a step up. It's a long way from League Two to the Premiership. He's done very, very well in League Two. But he needs to do it in Championship first, I think.
Definitely. Steve, just so you know, Ekateke won't be watching YouTube, mate. I think we're all right to big him up on here. We don't tag him in any tweets either because we're not that kind of people. We'll big him up in private, but when it's in the ground and that sort of stuff, and tagging him in things, that's what we want to stay away from. We just want to let him get into it. I think I tagged him in one just saying yes, thanks for joining or something like that. But
I think the French media have already talked him up loads anyway. So
yeah, exactly.
So.
Yes, that I would like to see that. Wilson taking Ekateke under his wing. Sell Fraser for me doesn't offer much. Try and get maybe.
Oh, I think I would keep Fraser on. I think Fraser's done right.
Yeah, it's Fraser or Miggy, isn't it?
The thing is, we can't bring in 20 players this season, this window. We need to keep some squad depth.
Yes.
And Fraser is a great backup for Allain Saint-Maximin, or on the other wing. He can play on both wings. So as a backup option, he's brilliant for us, I think, as a backup option.
I agree. The caps, just everyone, Joe Linton always does caps. He's the only one who does it. There's a reason for it. It's a private reason between me and him. So we'll just leave it at that if you don't mind. He's a lovely lad. So let's just enjoy the chat. So sorry it took so long to say that, but I've just got to it. If Henderson comes in, he'll want to be number one straight away. And I put him straight in. Dubs as backup. It's an interesting one, isn't it? Because you've got to earn your stripes, haven't you, Pete, really?
Certainly have to, yeah, now with this club.
I think it's, pre-season tournament and the friendlies will see who's number one keeper because they'll both get a chance in that. Whoever impresses will start, won't they?
That's true. Vestergaard from Leicester, anyone?
What, have we rumoured to him or?
No, it's just saying, what about Vestergaard from Leicester? Would you take
him? No, I think there's better out there.
Apparently I'm a hero. No, Gary. No, not a hero. Just a Geordie, like you lot. Don't be putting me up there. There's only one way down when you're up there. Joe Linton, Nip agree. So that's obviously about something that was said earlier. Friday can't come quick enough for me, lads. Let the carnage and saltiness commence. I love it. I used to love Banana Man when I was little. With 5 subs, Ekateke with pace could cause some major problems. I can't see many teams subbing their back line, so fresh legs and speed should terrify tired defenders. I've said this. I've said it for a long time. 5 subs is huge going into next season, and you've got to have quality on the bench to make a difference. So I agree with that one. And that's where ASM might actually become maybe more of on away games, maybe. He might become more of an impact sub player rather than a starter in away games.
Yeah, Ekateke can play on both wings as well, or behind the striker, or as a striker. So he's got many positions that he can play and come on the bench and do a job for us.
Yeah, definitely. A goalkeeper palms the ball away, definitely should be out of harm's way. But it should, Daniel, but a lot of goalkeepers don't do that. And if you go and watch the video on my TikTok, because you can't put it on here because you get copyrighted straight away, watch how many times he gets the ball out of danger and does it brilliantly. So it's worth watching. No to Lingard. Honestly, don't think Lingard is good enough. Lingard, not for me. A lot of people say no. Good for Def Lingard, but no more than 100k. It's not a bad point, that, to be fair. With 5 subs, we need to let 9 players leave. We need to sign more than 5 players. Branded about. I mean, we still got some sort of quality on the bench. The Sean Long stuff there, he started to look good again. Miggy, Fraser, Shelby wasn't even in the team near the end. So there's 4 that are going to be on the bench potentially. You add the new players in there as well. It is 5 or 6 players we only need to sign, Pete.
Yeah, it is. Just the areas we really need to strengthen outdoor, because there's still been a little bit light in some parts of the squad.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But it's not an overhaul, is it? Because Eddie Howe's come out and said he needs to keep that nucleus together, doesn't he?
It does, yeah.
So I'd say 5 or 6. We think 5 on the 10th, don't we, John?
we think 5 straight away in a marquee to signing to follow up. Yeah, so 6.
Lingard is playing silly bollocks, unfortunately. Porto want about 40 million, though. The Bradford has a habit of pushing the ball back into dangerous areas. He does. That's why I've said watch the video on Henderson, because it's got drilled into him on where to let the ball go. Since Wales qualified for the World Cup, I think we'll come NUFC in the summer. So that must be Bale. I don't want Bale. What about you, Pete?
Maybe quite a few years ago, I would have.
Oh yeah, definitely. Don't get me
now.
wrong. Not now though.
Not now, I don't think so.
John, what about you?
I think he'd be the best player in our squad. Don't get me wrong, even at the age he is now.
Will he have the desire to do it for a season? That's the thing.
Well, we saw glimpses at Tottenham. I mean, he was good at Tottenham. The return from that he got at Spurs was good. Would he get that at Newcastle? You don't know. There's no guarantee. But the one thing I can guarantee is we ain't going to be paying more than 150 grand a week. So
yeah, so
he want ridiculous wages as well.
Will he come for that?
I don't know. He has come out and said if he can't get a Premier League club, he'll go to Cardiff. So obviously his demands will have to be.
He said he'd play for free for Cardiff, though. That's his boyhood club. So.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's a great player on his day, but I just think for one season, is it worth the risk having someone? I mean, I don't know. But I just think he likes playing golf more. I don't think his heart will be in it. It might upset the dressing room a little bit. I just think it's best to leave Bale to go to Cardiff and play for free and then let him play in the World Cup and retire. I just don't think he has the desire that we're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
We've got some nice golf courses, though.
We have got some very nice golf courses. We've got championship golf courses in the northeast. I played one of them, and it was bloody difficult. Is Diaby close to signing or Pepe jumping ahead? Pepe is a non-starter. We got duped. Diaby will be a lot closer.
Tarnowski instead of Tarkovsky.
What neither Golf, Bale or Wood overpaid.
We can't do
send them to Everton. I know we can't. Thanks, Everton saved us. Take the Burnley reject. Jonathan has permission to use caps. Yes, he does. He never plays 600k a week for a golf. I mean, again, like you say, you won't get anywhere near that. ASM Wilson Diaby is a front three that's been branded around Twitter a lot, and it would be absolutely amazing. Fofana is a good shout if he was available.
Well,
I'd take a right fee though, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
No, go back to that comment about Mings. No, absolutely not.
Where's the Mings one? I go past that. Well, there he is. Yeah, Mings. I'm not even entertaining that one. I don't think we're even interested. No. I think that's just paper talk.
It is just linking in because he's played under Eddie before.
Yeah, just like the Ake one. So Joelinton caps. It's all good, guys. Don't worry about it. But I've got a little bit of space. Everton in big financial hell. Yes, they are. And that's why Dominic Calvert-Lewin is 1-4 to join Newcastle because they need to sell. And yet, keep it civil. I don't know what's going on. Hi, Baz. Any news on Diaby? We've covered that. We think there's a chance. Why can't we keep Target? Already shown commitment to the cause, and Lodi, two different left backs. Because like we mentioned, Target won't want to sit on the bench, so that's the difficult part of it. And Lodi won't want to sit on the bench either because he's a quality left back. So if we're signing Botman, surely he's partnering Shaw. Both Burn and Botman are left-footed. I don't get this whole thing. You've got to play a left-footed and a right-footed. You can play two right-footed players at the back. So there's no reason why you can't play two left-footed players. Yes, it might look a little bit strange on the eye, but if they're both quality, there's no reason why you can't play them both together.
Yeah, exactly.
Botman plays with both feet as well, by the way.
Yeah, well, there you are.
Just because he's been playing left centre back the majority of the season for Leeds, he does play with both feet. So
yeah, there you go then. Aren't Leeds and Burnley looking at? Yes, I've heard about that legal action, the COVID thing. His name's been branded around a few times, but I don't think there's any links at the moment, John.
No, I think Arsenal want to take him back and have a look at him. He played very well for Olympique Marseille last season. There is the odd mistake in him, but he does look a quality, or he will be a quality defender. And Arsenal won't let him go. I can't see it.
Yeah, have a kind of goals and dance moves. Yeah, I can imagine Paqueta scoring and Bruno scoring, and there'll be lots of dance moves in that corner flag, and then Joelinton to join in as well. We're going to get a lot of dancing. Petty cash price. I don't know what that one's all about. Paqueta and Derby.
I think it was a Paqueta fee.
Ah, right. We've got one in Joelinton, haven't we? But we would like a natural one as well, though, wouldn't we?
I think Bruno could play CDM as well.
He can. But again, then we don't want to lose out his goals and assists the way he's been playing for us. It's a tight one, isn't it? It would have been nice if Leeds got relegated, because I think Phillips would have been straight through the door. I don't think we'll be interested in him now, because it'll take a huge fee to prize him away from Leeds. So it's an interesting position, whether we stick with what we've got or do we try and get someone like Pasuma or someone like that from Brighton.
I think while the legal battle's been over Basuma's head, I don't think he's gonna move anywhere. He's not going to sign a contract. He's not going to get a move. I think that's got to be sorted before anything happens with him. Just bad publicity, and it signing a player that's got a court case over his head. I still like the guy from the Sangare. I still like him, but I don't know.
It's a good comment. Are we building a French and Brazilian team? We pretty much are at the moment, aren't we? So other owners won't upgrade those wingers who can't score for top. We are. The RB, Paqueta, they can all play on this. I mean, are the really wingers either? Because we played a 4-3-3. We don't know what formation.
Definitely.
Yeah, the RB is. I just don't know what formation we're playing next year. That's the difference. I just when you've seen War Mandy and NUFC video yet, it's a must see. I think I have. I've seen. There's been a few really amazing videos on Twitter, to be fair. There was one starting at the start of the season, going all the way through to the end of the season, was brilliant. I think I've seen that one with Mandy, though. Paqueta is a buyout, but Leon want rid, so maybe Leon will take less. I don't think they'll take less. They'll take the buyout clause. They really will. And midfield will be on fire. There's the Roy one who became a member. So, guys, if anyone wants to become a member tonight, link is pinned to the top of the chat. Click what option you want to choose and become a member. Then you'll have lots of different options. Good evening, Bazra, Mr. PDP, Proud Luck, and of course, John. Well said, Gary. Newcastle should put fake targets and make Everton and Villa go for them. That's what we did at the start. It's all been sorted now. We've got rid of all the ones we don't want. Villa rumour. I mean, Villa are after. Someone put that picture of what was it, man?
Johnny Depp.
No.
Johnny Depp in a Villa kit.
No, that was a good one. But then Mr. Bean, when he's doing that test and the guy's looking over at him and they put the Villa and Newcastle badges on them. I thought that was good. I love Miggy, but not quite there. I think Miggy could be one that could be sacrificed. If it's anyone, Pete, it's either Fraser or Miggy, and I think Fraser's the one that stays.
Yeah, for me, it's Fraser.
There we go. People would take 75 million and then buy basically buy Paqueta and you buy Diaby, don't you? Really get them both in. ASM 70 million could be used to bring two great players in. Exactly. Spurs wouldn't dare buy a player without a thumbs up from Conte. Not a chance. He'd be at PSG before he stayed. Apparently, Mourinho could be sniffing around that job now. Need to get loaded. Paqueta. I personally think Maxi will want to stay when you see our signings. I think he wants to stay, but I think if the club has offered 75 million, they'd be stupid not to consider it, would they? And then it's down to Maxi whether he wants to move or not. But I mean, he's even come out and said that Newcastle's now not a stepping stone. It's a club to be at because we're going to win things, basically. So why would he move? It's like Kane to Newcastle, a load of turd. Yeah, it is. Sell ASM, buy and Noah Lang and Salibi with that money. Sounds good.
Noah Lang's a good prospect, but again, it's a prospect, isn't it? I mean, Dutch football, it's a different kettle of fish to playing for the Premier League. Young lad though, good potential. And we've already discussed Saliba, so
Adam has speed and that's it. Yeah, we cover that. Bowen leaves, he's going to Liverpool. That would be a top signing for Liverpool.
Would be, wouldn't it?
Tiori could be Ekiteke's personal trainer. I'd swap Son for ASM. I think we all would. Tiori could end up at Spurs. That would be interesting. I didn't know we had the chance to sign Bowen. Yes, we did. I was not happy with that. Mike Ashley was a right turd for that. 10 million we could have had him for. But I don't think he would have been the player that he is now had he come, though. So
the players that we could have had under Ashley is unreal. Dele Alli, Modric under Keegan first time round. Haaland, we got offered to Haaland for 9 million and rejected it. I mean, it's silly.
Modric was the big one, wasn't it? Keegan had them all signed.
Yeah.
And he wanted to come, and that bloody Jimenez said he was too friggin' small. What a dick. I
remember someone saying that about Keegan as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Jesus. Damsgaard and Kane, Lewis, Porter, Vetek and Anderson will be mainstream for years. Exactly. We've got so much young talent now, which is what we've never had. I mean, we always had those arguments, didn't we, Pete, on all our shows? People saying, "Oh, why don't you give youth a chance?" It's like, we don't have youth.
That's the thing.
We don't have it. But now we're buying it. So it's going to be interesting in the next 5 years. I mean, we won't see the fruits of the labour of Dan Ashworth for at least 5-10 years' time.
Yeah,
but it's going to be immense when we do see it, though, isn't it, Pete?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Who wants to go?
I was going to say I don't know, because Brighton, we saw it within 2 or 3 seasons, so I could see it in a couple of seasons, seeing something coming through. So, I
mean, everyone would love Lewandowski, but it's not going to happen.
We can afford his wages.
Would love it. Well, we could. We just can't because of FFP. We wouldn't pay that, because then it'll upset the dressing room. And that's what we're trying to do. Dean, Trippier, Botman, Burn, left back, Joe Linton, Paqueta, Bruno, ASM, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and a right winger, DRB, Lodi. Wilson, not Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I said it and say it again. With better players around ASM, I completely agree with that one.
We've
better
also
players around him. Yeah, we have. Target is a player you sign when you are fighting to stay in the Premier League on loan. He is not a player you sign when you're making steps to move forward. There's an interesting one from Ryan. Target is too slow, is his weakness.
Let's see, slow.
Well, what I heard from my other source, he did say that Eddie Howe was a bit worried about how Target got burned quite a few times by Salah. I'm like, well, it is Salah.
Well, it is Salah, isn't it?
Do you know what I mean? But again,
against Arsenal, he had to Saka well at times.
He did.
Some other players as well.
So it's interesting, isn't it? I mean, it's a cheap option as well, and we've got to think of FFP, haven't we? So, I'm really struggling to get through all these comments, guys. I'm just kind of St. Patter instead of DCL. The problem is Dominic Calvert-Lewin's got age on his side, hasn't he? But everyone's saying it. Everyone wants Zapata. I would love Zapata. Sky haven't confirmed Ekatech. Just because Sky haven't confirmed it doesn't mean it's not done, Danny.
The club haven't confirmed it. Sky only confirm things when the club have, really.
Yeah, exactly. But we know it's done. We've been told it's done. We have contacts. Watch Mitro smash it. There's an interesting one, isn't there? And obviously, a lot of people said no to him, but he's at that age again as well.
Mitrovic, no, not for me. Wouldn't have him back again.
He was done about 3 times against Salah, mate. That was the one thing that was pointed out. And if you want a top class left back, you don't want to be getting. But again, it was Salah at the end of the day, so it makes no difference to me.
It got done a few times by Son as well, to be fair.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, well, the whole back four got done by Son, didn't they? Also, could not have fun at 8 for training gear sponsorship. We can't have fun at 8 anyway soon because there's no gambling allowed on the shirts, and there's no gambling in Saudi Arabia, so it's
illegal over there.
Yeah, exactly. Channel Right, thank you very much for the £2 super sticker. Just got to it. Thank you so much. Like we say, £1. You know, if everyone donates £1, it's amazing. I know not everyone's going to do it, but any donations are welcome. And like I say, we do put it to good use. Oh my God, I'm never catching up with all these comments. Let's try and pick out some good ones. There's a good one. With Marnie going to Bayern, would you guys take? I'm guessing that's Sane from them as a right winger in the front three. Played for Man City. Obviously, he did really well. Done
Leroy Sane.
Yeah. I'm sure that's who you must be talking about.
Yeah.
Would you take him, Pete?
He's not a cracking player, he was quality.
John having a glass too many. He's turning into Alex Ferguson, isn't he?
Yeah. Apart from it's not just the nose, it's everything.
Yeah, it's everything. I love it. John, would you take Leroy Sané?
In a heartbeat.
It's an interesting one, that.
He wanted to go to Germany because he was homesick when he was at Man City. So will he come
Oh,
back
that's
to Premier
true.
League? I don't think so. I think he'll go back.
He's maybe grown a little bit and he thinks he made a silly error.
He might be a replacement for Diaby if Diaby comes to us. Sané.
I agree with that one on Ryan as well. Pep doesn't let good players go. What's this one? Not much. Only signed one of the best players in the Championship. That must be what Bristol have done. I think we can get 100 million on outgoing sales. That buys 2 worldies, 9 players. I don't know how we're getting 100 million unless we're selling ASM.
Is Miggy apparently not got a 60 million release clause?
Yeah, but that was put in there stupidly when we signed him for 25. Yeah. So he's not worth that, unfortunately.
No, definitely not.
I don't think we'll get the money we paid for him back, to be fair.
No. I think 15 if we're lucky. 15, 20.
Something like that, yeah.
I give Wood back to Burnley for free. I honestly still think Wood's got something to give next season. He's different. You've got 3 different strikers. He will offer something different at different types of games. So, I mean, he's not going to play much, but he's there as an option, isn't he? And it's better than Gale. Do you not agree, Pete?
It's I don't know. With Chris Wood, I'm not too sure. Unless Eddie Howe does work with something with him to try and make him a lot more better. But
I think tactics and formation will change next season.
You could say it's because he normally plays in a 2 up front when he's been at Burnley and all that. But I don't know.
Yeah, depends the formation, doesn't it? But that's what I mean. It's great to have him because then we can mix things up. You see,
we can a little bit, yeah.
There's a good question, John. What's going to happen to Willock now?
I think Willock will be on the bench. So he'll be a player that'll come in off the bench if we do sign Paqueta.
I'd like that.
So I'd like Harvey Barnes as well, but I don't think that'll happen. Not unless we give him like 50 million and Miggy.
True.
But yeah, Harvey Barnes is a good player.
Saint-Maximin, get Harvey Barnes in.
Yeah, I'd do that, to be fair.
Right. Smash the like button, guys, if you don't mind. Was Zapata not injured? I can't remember.
Yeah, we were lucky. He got injured pretty much straight after.
Oh, he did, didn't he? Yeah, as soon as the links had finished, that was it. Boom, he was injured, wasn't he? Guys, don't forget, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, consider donating, consider becoming a member. The link's in the top of the chat. And please look in the description for Pete's channel and get yourself subscribed to that as well. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe to a channel. Help Pete out, guys. And watch his shows because his Friday night one's brilliant.
Especially rating the food.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, there's the equaliser. Who's playing tonight?
Wales, Ukraine.
Ooh. I'd take Son over ASM. I think everyone would. I mean, he was top goal scorer in the Premier League this year, so it's a silly one, isn't it? What's this one? I've never had a good time in transfer windows. All I've ever known is Ashley. I'm 15, but had a season ticket since I was born. That's amazing, Callum. You're welcome to the big time, mate, because I saw Alan Shearer get signed when I was 15. So you're in for a hell of a ride, pal. Pope from Burnley. We've mentioned Pope a few times. And again, he can't play with his feet, which is the problem.
The thing, plus they want about 40 million for him, and he's not worth that much with the age he's at as well. 30 now, isn't he?
Yeah, 29, 30, 40 million for a goalkeeper of his quality. They play on till about 36, though, don't they? So they're still a good. Just depends whether he can still be that agile at that age with that size. I don't know. Everyone's saying no to Bale. Bale is seriously on our radar. Owners want a shirt seller. We've talked about this, haven't we, John? That guy who's going to sell shirts in Saudi Arabia and make the club rich that way.
And he's just put Wales in the World Cup. So, yeah.
Has he?
Yeah.
Oh man, 22 games, 12 goals. That with Bale. Yeah. I mean, I just don't know. I'm so split on Bale.
He had a great season at Spurs, and I think he'd be the best player in our team by a long way. But it's just that wages, and I don't know if he'll come for 150k a week.
I don't know. He said he'll play for free at Cardiff. He'd be stupid not to take 100, especially when there's not going to be that many takers. Because it is just 1 year. That's it. It's 1 year and he's retiring. That's it.
He don't need the money though, does he? Let's be right about it.
Oh, Danny, don't get me wrong. He's a quality player. I just think for 1 season, I just think it's a risk. That's. I'm just thinking about the upsetting in the dressing room and all that sort of stuff. If you would upset it, I don't know. I mean, you might get them all playing golf and then we'll be in trouble.
Sure, play golf.
That's my point as well. Bill just wants a club to stay fit for the World Cup, and that's what worries me a little bit. The only Ekiteke is what? Palindrome.
It means that if you look at Ekiteke backwards and forwards, it's the same.
Oh yeah, it is. Huh. There's not many names like that, is there? Yeah. Tony Timebridge. I don't know who that one is. Coutinho finally going back to who loaned him. Coutinho was at Villa, isn't he? That was done a while ago. So yeah, because they announced it, didn't they? They announced that Coutinho was at Villa. Yeah, they got him, Carlos, and Kamara, haven't they? What's a few little smiling faces. I think no to Bale and Eriksen because the average age of the team needs to be lowered whilst at the same time upping the quality. See, that's the problem. Them two are quality, aren't they? At the wrong end of the age spectrum. But Eriksen for me over Bale. But yeah, I mean Bale is class.
I'd rather have Bale over Eriksen.
Would you?
Well, it's that the free kicks and the
we've got Trippier for that though.
He can ping a ball anywhere on the pitch, though, can't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but so can Eriksen.
And set pieces from corners. I've never seen anyone leap like Gareth Bale leaps.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that bicycle kick in the final was absolutely superb. I don't know how that didn't get goal of the tournament. Shelvey's a weird one because we've not really covered this tonight, and it's not really been around Twitter much. But he's got a year left on his contract, I believe. Howe says he wants to keep him for that year, but after that year, he's not sure. Howe has said to Shelvey, if an offer comes in or you find another club that's going to offer you a long-term deal, you have his blessing to leave, basically. That's what's been said about him. But he does want to keep him for at least one more season, and it's up to Shelvey whether he wants to do that. What do you think of that, Pete?
It's a strange one. I think Shelvey may not get a lot of game time next season as well. I mean, again, because there was a rumour about that he may not be guaranteed. Starts next season as well if we improve that midfield. Yeah.
Well, I don't think anyone should be a guaranteed starter at a football club because if you form dips, you're not just going to pick them because you said you're a guaranteed starter. I don't agree with stuff like that. Man
City win the league time after time is because the bench is as good as the first team.
Yeah, exactly. I think we'd all swap Wood for Cornet, to be honest with you. He's a name that's not really been mentioned that much. War Proudlock, it is War Proudlock. 1 goal is awful. He's got 2.
Miggy only had 1 this last
season. Miggy got 1. Sorry, I thought it was all about Wood. But Bazuma court case is tomorrow. That's interesting. See if that gets thrown out. I think if that gets solved, I think Bazuma is back on our radar.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
It could be interesting. Newcastle are buying Metro Centre. They need to put it all in new cups there. I've heard that going around, to be fair. As a joke, obviously. Didn't see that one as well. Thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Sorry, not super chat. It's a super sticker. Super stickers don't go to the top. Only super chats do. It's stupid. But thank you very much for that. I really, really appreciate it. Stop the clocks, Foxy just virtually laughed. Hand back his wages and shame. I love it. Leicester have no European football. They will have to sell to rebuild that side. I mean, they've had a strange season, Pete, having the Leicester, because they're a much better side than where they finished in the league.
Yeah, they have, haven't they? But I thought they've been a bit of a funny team season.
Exactly.
They've struggled a lot this season, didn't they?
I think Vardy's not helped not having Vardy, and they haven't replaced Vardy yet, and they need to, because he's getting to that age where he's going to have injuries or he's not going to play every game.
Exactly. Here's an interesting one. NUFC won't benefit that much from shirt sales. Actually, stupidly give away operations of the club's retail and e-commerce to Castore. NUFC will receive very little percentage of shirt sales. Maybe that's why they're trying to get rid of Castore then.
Yeah,
I don't know how true that is.
They won't be able to get rid of Castore till next season, but I doubt Mike Ashley would have made that deal, bearing in mind he has the biggest sports chain in the whole entire country.
I'd like to know if that's true or not, because
I wouldn't read into that. That definitely won't have happened. Not with Mike Ashley. Unless Mike Ashley owns 90% of Castore, he won't have made that deal.
Yep. Now, if I've in the chat, smash the thumbs up. Everyone, it's free to help the show. Quick, check it out. Thanks, Paul. Appreciate that. Every team has at least 3 key players. As long as they fit, they will start. So I don't see a problem with that. No, there's no harm in having key players who will start, who you think are your first names on the team sheet. So for me at the moment, it's Bruno, Wilson, and Joe Linton. There are 3 key players that will always start. But it doesn't mean they should start, because if they have a dip in form, then you're going to drop them. All I'm saying is that you should never guarantee someone first team football, because you don't know what's going to happen. That's why I think this whole thing, I want guaranteed first team football, I'm not going to sign. It shouldn't be allowed. You're a footballer. You're going to get picked in the 11 or you're not. It depends on form, depends on formation, depends on who you're playing against. The one that you normally see is the most guaranteed is your goalkeeper, because they very rarely change them. So there you are. And in news on Paqueta, we covered him. We think he's the next one through the door once the Botman saga is sorted. I can't pronounce that. It's just got an R, but I can't pronounce his name. But thank you very much for the 449. What do you think if they don't get Botman or Ake? All right, it's at this is NUFC. I know him on Twitter, but I just can't pronounce his name there. I think it's Ken. I'm going to call you Ken. But what do you think to that one, guys? What do you think if they don't get Botman or Ake from? What do you think? Who would the next target be?
I don't think Ake is going to be in the question, to be honest. I think Botman's still number 1, and I heard personally that Dickey was number 2 choice if they didn't get Botman, because Dickey's got a release clause.
Yes, he has 17 million, isn't it, or 19 million or something like that.
And I've heard all the backup options have got release clauses just for the fact that they need to get the players in this season early. So if we don't get Botman, I think it could be in Dickey because of the release fee.
Yeah. It opens on the 10th of June and it closes on the 1st of September, so it's quite a long one, the transfer window.
But we have been openly saying that we want to get all our business done early, so I imagine we'll be done in June.
Yeah, Villa have got Castore now as well, haven't they?
Yeah.
Which is a bit crazy. Sean Casey said Gareth Bale would consider us only if Wales qualify to keep him in shape, and he's already had talks with us as a pay-as-you-play contract. That's very interesting, if that is true. Obviously, I've not heard anything. John?
No, I've not heard it. I've heard that we want to make a marquee signing. We want someone to sell shirts. Bale certainly fits that bill. So
he does.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. His name's Richard, and thank you again for the £1.79. I really appreciate that, mate. So I don't know how I get Richard out of RSCHAPKENS. I got Ken's because Ken's at the end, so that's why I called him Ken.
I think the R is for Richard, and then the Shapkins is a Dutch,
his last name, Dutch
name, if I'm right.
Yeah, could be. But thank you, Richard. Really, really appreciate it, mate. I'll remember that for next time.
And it'll be
Ken.
It'll be Shepkins if that's right, because the double A's are She in it.
Yes. The window opens on the 10th. 10th, not far away. What is it now? It's I don't know what date it is today. 5th. Only 5 days away.
Yeah, it's next Thursday, Friday, isn't it? The window.
Yeah. There's another name that keeps popping up quite a lot, alongside Ndicka. Badishal, is how you pronounce it.
Yeah, I heard he was in talks with another club. I can't remember who it is off the top of my head, but I heard he was in talks.
Yeah, I think I heard that.
from Monaco. I think it was PSG, but I could be wrong. But I heard he was in advanced talks with another club.
Yep. Interesting. Right, well, that's the end of the show, guys, because I've got to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go to work again. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's been an hour and a half of pure good stuff. So before we go, though, this is your last chance to hit the subscribe button tonight while you're watching the show, to hit that membership button if you want to become a member, and your last chance to donate if you want to donate. It's up to you guys. Please, though, go into the description and check out Pete's channel. Please go and smash that subscribe button for him, because he's doing great work. And like I say, his Friday night show is superb. And like I say, we're on our road to 5,000. It's been an incredible journey. I don't even know how we've got here, to be completely honest with you. I'm just an idiot in a black and white shirt talking football, and it's great. So please consider hitting that subscribe button. And like I say, consider being a member. That would be absolutely amazing. And thanks to everyone in the chat tonight, because you guys have made the show. Without you guys, we wouldn't have been talking for an extra hour. We would have been done after about 30 minutes. So I thank everyone in the chat for bringing all the questions and everything going on there. And Mark says, cheers. Thomas says, hit the thumbs up on the way out. And Eddie's just smashed in a $3 super sticker. Thank you very much, Eddie. I really appreciate that. Stay safe. Bill will most likely play for Wales next season on a cheaper contract. Play in Wales, Cardiff, apparently, potentially. Don't talk yourself down, Baz. Sorry, I just can't help it. I'm just not used to all this attention, to be honest with you. But like I say, you guys in the chat have made this show tonight. It's been an hour of pure joy reading all your comments. Being dyslexic makes it even more fun. But we got there in the end, didn't we? Pete, have you got anything coming up shortly?
I'll just be told about any transfer videos that come out, and I'll have the live show on Friday.
Oh, I can't wait for the live show on Friday. I'm going to try and catch it. What shift am I on?
You're on night shift.
I'm on night shift.
This is when the window opens.
Yeah, window opens and I'm on night shift. Alan Brown, thank you so much for becoming a member there. He's just decided to jump in there just before we go. Thank you very much and welcome to the family. I'll try and catch it half an hour on my break, Pete, and try and drop a comment in for you. But everyone, thank you so much for joining in. Please check out Pete's show on Friday. It should be lit because it is the first day of the transfer window, so there should hopefully be a lot of news to talk about. And no doubt we'll be back with some updated videos because we do like to do them. They are quite cool. But until then, have a great evening, and I hope you all have a good Monday tomorrow. I know I'd rather not be at work, but I hope you guys are all still off and getting drunk. God save the Queen.